Let's face it, she knows. She knows how you feel. She knows you care, that you're waiting, that you keep checking your phone hoping for her message. You didn't hide it and she didn't miss it. And yet, she still chooses silence. That's not forgetfulness. That's a choice. When someone genuinely wants to be in your life, they make the effort. It's not complicated. You don't have to decode mixed signals or second guess their intentions. But with her, you're stuck in a cycle of maybes. Maybe she didn't see it. Maybe she's just busy. Maybe she'll reply later. But those are just lies we tell ourselves to avoid facing the truth that stings the most. She saw it, and she chose not to respond. That is her answer. You don't need to chase her for more clarity. The clarity is right there in the silence. You don't need closure in words when her lack of action speaks louder. You're not being ignored accidentally. You're being ignored because she doesn't feel the same. That's hard to swallow, but it's freeing once accepted. You stop spinning in circles trying to understand what went wrong. You stop writing imaginary endings to a story she's already finished in her mind. Her silence is not an open-ended mystery. It's a full stop. And the sooner you accept it, the sooner you can stop giving your energy to someone who doesn't value it. Yes, it hurts. Yes, it feels like rejection. But it's better than being stuck in a place where you're constantly waiting for someone who's already moved on. The moment you stop asking why she isn't replying is the moment you start hearing yourself again. And that's when healing begins, not when she replies, but when you stop needing her to. Every time you send another text, hoping to spark a response, you're digging yourself deeper into a place you don't belong. You think maybe this message will be different. Maybe if you word it just right, say the perfect thing, make her laugh, or express your feelings clearly, she'll finally come around. But that's not how it works. It's not a matter of finding the right combination of words to unlock her attention. In fact, the more you reach out, the more she pulls away. Why? Because desperation is unattractive. Because people don't chase what's already chasing them. When someone knows they have you, really have you, they stop trying. You become an option instead of a priority. She doesn't feel the need to reply because she knows you'll be there anyway, waiting. That kind of predictability kills curiosity. And without curiosity, there's no motivation for her to re-engage. She's not wondering what you're doing, how you feel, or if you've moved on. She already knows you're still there, still trying. Every unanswered text tells her you don't respect yourself enough to walk away, that you value her more than your own peace. And whether she means to or not, she starts to lose respect for you too. It's not always cruel or calculated. It's just human nature. People value what values itself. The more you try to prove your worth through texts, the more you broadcast that you don't believe in it yourself. So stop chasing. Stop sending reminders of your availability. Let her feel what it's like when you're not there. Because if there's even a chance she once cared, the silence you leave behind will echo louder than any message you could send. And if she never cared at all, no text was ever going to change that. You've been playing a losing game, one where the rules were never in your favor. You believed that consistency would win her over, that if you just showed her enough loyalty, enough patience, enough care, she'd come back around. But the truth is, the more available you've made yourself, the less value she sees in your presence. There's no curiosity, no wondering, no sense of mystery. She knows you're there, knows you'll reply, knows she can ignore you for days, and you'll still show up the moment she calls. And that certainty, it kills attraction. To change the game, you need to flip the script. Stop being predictable. Stop being the guy who lingers, who waits, who always texts first. You have to become the man who can walk away, not to manipulate her, not to make her miss you, but because you finally understand your own worth. You stop watching her stories, stop liking her posts, stop checking her online status. You focus on yourself, on your growth, on the life you were putting on hold for someone who wasn't even thinking about you. Eventually, the silence becomes louder than your presence ever was. Maybe not immediately, but it will. She'll notice the absence, she'll feel the space you used to fill, and maybe, just maybe, She'll wonder why you stopped chasing. That curiosity might lead her back, but by then, it won't even matter to you. Because the goal was never to make her miss you. The goal was to stop needing her to validate you. This shift isn't about getting her back. It's about getting yourself back. And once you do, that once you really reclaim your power, no part of you will want to return to the version of yourself who ever had to beg for someone's attention. Think about the amount of emotional energy you've been pouring into someone who barely acknowledges your existence. The time you've spent staring at your phone, waiting for a reply that never came. The hours you've lost replaying old conversations in your head, wondering what you did wrong or what you could have said differently. Every ounce of that energy is being wasted on someone who isn't wasting a single thought on you. And that's the brutal truth. It's not mutual. It never was. Now imagine if you redirected that same energy. Imagine what would happen if, instead of obsessing over someone who doesn't care, you obsessed over becoming the best version of yourself. What if all that mental space was used to build something for you, to grow your confidence, your health, your career, your mindset? The truth is, your energy is your most valuable currency, and you've been spending it like it's worthless. You need to reclaim it, because when you do, everything changes. You stop being the guy who's always checking his phone. You stop being emotionally exhausted from trying to hold onto someone who was never yours. You start to feel alive again. You start focusing on your own story, instead of trying to write your worth into someone else's. And ironically, that's when people start noticing. That's when you begin to attract, not because you're chasing, but because you're becoming. Confidence is magnetic, and confidence comes from knowing your energy is too valuable to waste on someone who doesn't see it. You don't need her to reply. You don't need her to see your worth. You need to see it yourself and act like it. When you truly understand that, you'll stop caring about her silence, because you'll be too busy building something better than the conversation she never started. The real victory isn't in getting her back, it's in getting yourself back. So many guys think winning means getting that reply, that one last chance, that moment where she suddenly realizes your worth. But that mindset keeps you trapped, always looking for validation outside yourself. The truth is, the moment you choose to walk away with your dignity intact is the moment you actually win, because you're not just giving up on her, you're reclaiming your peace, your confidence, and your power. You don't win by proving how much you care or how patient you can be. You win by proving that you value yourself enough not to settle for someone who treats you like an option. When you stop texting, when you stop chasing, you flip the dynamic. You stop reinforcing the idea that she can ignore you and still have you. You start reminding her, maybe not directly, but silently, that you're not someone to be taken for granted. And maybe she'll notice, maybe she won't. That's not the point anymore, because when you truly commit to moving on, you no longer care what she does. You're not playing a game, you're not hoping for a reaction. You're just done. Done begging, done hoping, done waiting. In that space, something powerful happens. You start to focus on what truly matters, your own growth, your own happiness, your future. The woman who's meant to be in your life won't leave you confused or anxious. She'll be consistent, clear, and just as invested as you are. So walk away, not with anger, not with bitterness, but with purpose. Let your silence speak louder than 1,000 texts ever could, because the strongest thing you can ever do is not need someone who doesn't need you back. That's how you win, every time.